What's up, my people? Got a conventional septic system, 5 lines here. There's the house, here's the system, leach field, 5 tank up here. Got 5 stakes in the ground, 5 stakes over there. These are going to be 50-foot laterals, conventional septic, so that means we are using existing soil. We don't have to bring in any material. We have the stone and the fabric and the pipe. There's a D-box. First things first, you are going to dig your D-box, set it to grade that you want, 20 inches in the ground, and then pull this trunk, and that's where all your solid pipe goes in. I have a couple other videos on this in more detail than this one's going to be. This one's going to be a general septic system install. So if you're looking for super detail and doing it yourself, a DIY project, go in my playlist under I don't know if it's in septic systems, but go in the playlist and you'll find it. It's titled septic systems anyways. So let's get to it. First things first, I'm going to just scrape away the sticks and level this a tiny bit. I'm not going to dig the overburden. You have to leave the vegetation and everything for a conventional system. Do not dig in the ground. Just going to skim it off, put it down there. First things first, dig your D-box in. It's going to be 20 inches down, like I said. You're always going to line up your first hole with your first lateral. Got the smooth 3-foot bucket on. We're going to switch it out to the 2-foot bucket. Gotta have your laterals 2 foot wide. Take a measurement. Alright guys, got the D-box in, 20 inches down, put 4 inches of stone in the bottom. I'm gonna take the rest of this stone here, come up to your bottoms of your outlets, and then once you come to the bottom of your outlets, that's your depth of your trunk the rest of the way. Your pipe sits on the virgin dirt, just stone in the bottom of the box. If you're in sand, you could get away with just using the natural sand. You don't need the stone. Got all my lines painted. Just hook a string line to this, to that. Paint nice straight lines, 5 of them, 50 foot a piece. Once we get this trunk built, you're gonna go, your first one is always lined up here. This is your inlet right there from your tank. You're gonna come out straight. This one is gonna be tight 90 to the second or the third line, and this one will be your come across and then 90 this way. Just dig your trunk, go with the grade, 10, 12 inches, whatever it measures out for you. All right, D-box is in, bedded in stone. Trunk is excavated. Now we're gonna build the trunk. You want solid pipe at 90s. Get your rubbers all cut out. Make an X, go around them like this. It's a gasket, rubber gasket. Get that cut out. Make sure you get enough, like so that gasket could seat. Otherwise, that pipe won't go in. Like so. Only do the ones that you're using, your inlet and your 5 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do not do these ones. That's for your expansion if you ever need it. All right, first line put in. I got a 4-inch piece I cut in there. Make this right tight so that 90 gets right tight to that. You want about an inch or so inside. You could always cut these afterwards, even if you have them this long, to true them up, straighten them out, whatever. But get your first 90 as tight as it could possibly go, which is there. Next piece was 9 inches, like so. Now you'll see this go by, and this one will go in here. Okay. All right, trunk is starting to go in. Here's our first line that's going to go into here. So measure 6 foot on center. Put your tape there. This is your second line that has to be cut right here. Put a mark. That's where our 90 is going to go. So there's our 6 foot mark. That doesn't mean you cut it there now. You put your 90 in the center because that's your pipe. The cut is going to be right here where that hub is going to hit. Okay? And that's your center. Don't cut at your 6 foot. It's going to be cut there because you got to compensate. All right, trunk is all built, ready to go for my leach lines. Keep everything nice and true as I did. And these move back and forth, and they're gonna move back and forth while you're working. You're gonna pin them all with some sand and stuff. One thing I do wanna mention, and each septic system I put in little details different from others, so I guess you'll have to watch all 3. But anyways, keep your lines coming out the front of that box. So each box is positioned different on each septic system, depending on the inlet and the way the field is faced. So basically, you got to keep these 3 that are for our expansion in case we ever need them, which that's the expansion area down there. If this system decides to fail, you could do 3 more lines and come out the back and into there. If you switched it around and use the lines from the back, you're in trouble because you can't come out and then you're going to be crossing these lines. So always make sure you leave your expansion lines to the back of the box. Another thing to check before you start digging your lines, which that's the point I'm at now, is check these lines to make sure you got pitch going down. It only calls for 1/16 of an inch maximum. So, I mean, right there is way too much. So what we'll do is when we put that line on, we're just going to lift it up. But you want to make sure you're at least going in the right direction. All right, we're all ready for the trench. Got the laser on the boom. Here is the trench detail. So from the bottom of our pipe there, we got to cut down 6 inches because that's stone. We got 6 inches of stone under the pipe, then the 4-inch pipe, which gets all wrapped in stone, then 2 inches on top of the stone. So it's 12 inches of stone there, and then you backfill with the existing soil. The first trench will put all the dirt to the right. The second trench, you put it right on top. After you put your fabric and pipe in and all that, you put your dirt right on top of the stone, or right on top of the trench, and then you leave your ends open so they can inspect it. That's around here. Some counties are different. They may want the whole trench open. So you gotta go with your codes, but this is how we do it. All right, laser's on. Gotta go down. Green lights go. It's on top of the boom up there. I don't know if you can see it, but you definitely can hear it. Just gonna pull this as we go. Follow my blue mark. bucket has to be wide open like that. Stick at a 90. Boom. Great. Done. That way when you're pulling grid like this, you can get it. And you don't have to do this if you use your bucket flat. And if you like this with your teeth, make the laser switch as you just saw. There's no mistake when the bucket's open. Pulls here. Give yourself a little more room, even though more than you laid out, just in case. Go one scoop further. Gives you room to put the end cap on and stuff. A little extra stone ain't gonna hurt nobody. Just fell, broke it a bunch of pieces on the mount, so now don't have a magnetic mount. If you know anybody knows where I get metal pieces for this stuff, put it in the comments. I gotta get a better system for this GoPro. I got all these plastic parts. All right, I'll hold it for this little bit. Put 6 inches of stone in the bottom of your trench in piles about the width of the bucket. And do that 3 or 4 times, and our stone will set on that, because again, we want 6 inches of stone. If you fill the whole thing with stone at once, you'll be raking and raking and raking. So just do piles, that way you can put the highs to the lows. Okay, I got my stone set. My pipe is in, and it's just loosely in, obviously, just setting on top of the piles I made, as you see, and it could go left or right like this. It's better if you have 2 people to hold it for you. Some guys put rebar in like this to hold it. If you have a tilt bucket like me, you could go on both sides at an angle and it will stay perfect. Double check the pipe. You set on top. There's dead nuts. You still want to be pretty much level here. And mine tells you exactly what I'm down right now. Says a 1/2 inch, so that has to come up. I only want that to be a 1/4 inch. When you get halfway in your pipe, you want that to be, say, 50%. Okay? Right there, it says it has to come up 0.5. So it has to, that means it's down 50%. Perfect. I say percent, but it's 1/2 inch. And then at the end of this pipe, you want to be 1 inch minimum. You know, 1 inch to 1.5 inches is the best for this type of system. All right, but read your specs. Everybody's different. 1/16 per foot maximum. Okay, that's at your maximum. So on a 50-foot length, if you do the math, I don't know what it is, it comes almost to 3 inches. So we do half that, and that's what our inspector wants. So right now my pipe is set. I'm just going to check this end just to make sure we're reading. Okay, this says it has to go down, so we're gonna, you take your stone, you scooch it around, tap it. I take my foot like this, cut a line in it, and it lowers the pipe right at the same same depth as your, same contour as your toe, and it's the same contour as the pipe, so then it stays in there. It won't roll out. 1.5 inches, 1.5, perfect. Like I said, take your toe and scribe it in there, and then this won't roll. Oh, I'm falling down. Hang on. This won't roll. See how sturdy that is? And you could also take your stone and pat it, but go down through, make sure it's right. All right, stone's all backfilled, 2 inches above the pipe, and then your fabric. And then you can take the dirt and pin it down, pin the fabric down like that as you go, because that's what goes next. Once we dig this line, we take the dirt, touch up your lines like I am. We take this dirt and put it right directly in there. Leave your ends open though. All right, got 3 lines in. Fabric's in on this one. 1 line to go on the orange. Ran out of blue paint. Like I said, guys, sorry for the video. Lack of video, I should say. The GoPro mount has broke. All of them have broke. I have no more plastic cheap GoPro clips. Trying to find the metal ones. I know they're out there somewhere. Just don't have any, so this is what we got. Got one more line, like I said. Gonna get you in the air, finish this one out. All right, let's see what we got at the end of the day. Probably 5 o'clock anyways. Yeah, 5:22. So I started probably, I don't know, 8-ish. 5:22 now, got it all in. The leach field is ready for inspection. This is called the trunk. And like I said, guys, if you guys want to see a detailed video on every step of measurement, you got to go to the playlist. I want to put a playlist because I got another septic system to do next week. So I'll get a playlist going. Then there'll be 4 septic systems in there for you to get every detail. Like I said, the GoPro had some faulty issues today, so I couldn't get everything. And I wasn't going to do a detailed video on this one anyways because, you know, I already did 2 of them pretty much that were to spec. This one was for enjoyment. Leave your ends open like that with the caps. Then he's just going to take his instrument and do those ends, do these ones, and make sure everything is perfecto. Gotta leave this one open because we don't have no dirt. The dirt is on the other side. Remember, that's the first one. So when we go to get the okay to backfill, when he's here, we'll throw some water in here and we'll adjust these speed dialers right here. Which, if your tank is level, you should have no issue. They'll all be at the bottom. But what happens over the years, things creak and settle with Mother Nature. You can come in and adjust these. And if one fails, you can get rid of it. Or if you want to take more, you just turn the dial. All right, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, share. If you guys like my videos and you have Facebook, share it on Facebook with your friends. That will get it out there big time. So pick a video that you guys like and say, hey, check this guy out, the Dirt Balls. Thanks, guys.